Genau 10 Jahre ist es her. Damals spielte man die erste Weltmeisterschaft im Alexandra Palace. Er kam aus der Qualifikation, stürmte in das Finale und verlor dieses gegen John Part. Und danach kam lange Zeit nichts. Und so allmählich kämpft er sich zurück, ist die aktuelle Nummer 70 der Welt. Und wir freuen uns, dass er hier in Saarbrücken mit dabei ist. Kirk Shepherd! Kirk Shepherd darf ran gegen die Nummer 12 der Welt. Der Mann hat in diesem Jahr seine erste Premier League-Saison gespielt. Der UK Open-Finalist von 2017 aus Wales, der Iceman Gerwyn Price. Und Corner dieses Matches ist The Voice, Russ Bray.
2 seeds safely through. Let's see what the number 11 seed Gerwyn Price can do here at the Saarlander Hall. A packed venue here in Saarbrücken for the second round of the German Darts Open. Kirk Shepherd, 2008 World Championship finalist, beaten by John Part. Came through the UK qualifiers, saw off Simon Stevenson 6-1 last night. Up against Gerwyn Price, who's not had a great start to the European Tour campaign this year. Exits in his first matches in both Leverkusen and Munich, beaten by Richard North 6-5 very narrowly, and beaten by Luke Humphries 6-1 last time out in Munich. Luke averaging over 100 there, and exiting the Premier League on his debut, eliminated, and openly admitting, Dan Dawson, that he didn't enjoy the Premier League experience at all.
No, however, following his elimination, he just seems to have gone back to the old Gerwyn Price, the Gerwyn Price that was playing fantastic darts, that made him a regular threat at Pro Tour events, a regular threat in these Euro Tour events, a major finalist at the UK Open, finalist at the World Cup along with Mark Webster for Wales.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first leg Kirk to throw first. Game on!
And you only have to look last weekend on the Pro Tour in Barnsley. Gerwyn Price, immediately following his elimination from the Premier League, he played 8 games and he threw 100 averages in 3 of them, including a massive 112.5 against Ronnie Baxter in one of them.
60.
So it may just be that this albatross around the Welshman's neck has just been removed and he can get back to playing his normal stuff. That's what he said, you know, when it became apparent that his Premier League campaign was not going how he wanted. He said, I just want to get back to playing how I was playing, the stuff that got me in the Premier League. And we've seen a sign of that last weekend, and he may well build upon it this weekend, because Gerwyn Price is a quality player. There is no doubt about that.
We have seen it, haven't we? Yeah, it can affect players for a long, long time. That relentless week in, week out Premier League schedule, especially if you're getting each week.
34.
Yeah, it can for some players run into the other form in other tournaments for a long, long time.
Yeah, it can do. And I think that makes it doubly encouraging that he seems to have got back to playing some good stuff very, very quickly. I mean, Michael Smith, his first year in the Premier League, didn't go according to plan, and the whole year, it wasn't a write-off, but it was an annus horribilis for the bully boy.
And
he's well ahead here, Gerwyn Price, for an early break of throw. Yep, the shot is on, double 18.
92. Kirk, you require 157.
Trouble 20, trouble 19 tops. Well, that's gone. Chance evaporated.
97. Going to require 18.
The awkward double 9. That's a good marker. Wants to stay outside it.
Game
Yep, a
shot
very
the
good marker
first
indeed.
leg. They're in price.
So an early break of throw.
Second
for
leg
the
going
number
to
11
throw
seed.
first. Game on.
Kirk Shepherd's a difficult player to predict, has to be said.
140.
There are times when it looks like he's going through a spell of form. Certainly the start of last year when he carved his way through Q School
83.
and looked to be really dangerous again. I mean, you go back to last summer, made a quarter-final on the Pro Tour, and you thought, oh, well, maybe he's just getting to grips with life on the tour again after a tough time following his incredible run at Ali Pali a long while ago now, decade ago.
I think that's a decade ago that he came to prominence with that incredible run to the final in the World Championship.
133.
Hasn't made a quarter-final since then, although he's been on the verge once or twice this year.
44. Going to require 132.
No need to go bullseye route first up. Leaves him 50, so when Gerwin returns, it will be single 10 for double top. He will leave double top more than any other top player in darts, Gerwin Price.
100. Going to require 50.
Let's see if his sights are in on the double top early on in this second round afternoon. Again, it's a decent marker. Using that as a guide to go bang, and 2-0 up already. And already a bit of thinking for Kirk Shepherd to do, but here he comes back.
21.
Last start rather flung, you felt.
The interesting thing with Gerwin Price, we have seen him throw some decent stuff, even during his horrendous Premier League campaign. Not often, but sometimes. The UK Open, he put in some very good performances, once again beating Paul Hogan. Second year running he'd beaten Paul Hogan at the UK Open when nobody else was beating him. And occasionally he's put in big displays. On the Players' Championship Series, he's averaged over 100 5 times this year. And that's only in 8 events. But what you'd seem to find, because his confidence seems to have taken a knock, it's when something goes wrong in a game, he doesn't seem to be able to recover, or he finds it very difficult to recover. Bit of aggression, that's what we like to see from Gerwin Price. Well, I like to see from Gerwin Price anyway.
The crowd like to see it. Might pep him up, spur him on to even greater heights.
59.
Well, he's gambled there to try and get the treble, but in the end, even a single 20 would have left him finish where he doesn't have to use the bullseye. But he does with this one. Treble 17 would leave the ball.
97.
So, treble 20, single 14, double top. First bit done. Second bit done.
74.
Third bit not quite there.
Turkey requires 64.
Oh yes,
Game
double
shown
eight.
the third leg. Kirk Shepherd, full leg going at full first.
Kirk Shepherd, a leg on the board. Price though, starting leg 4. Very confidently indeed with his second 180 of the match.
And with Gerwin, you get the feeling. I mean, look, I think his best stuff is he plays his best stuff when he does have this aggression in his game. And there must be so much pent-up frustration from Gerwin Price. 5 perfect darts. I think that celebration would have been enormous had he fired in back-to-back maximums. But there must be so much pent-up frustration. You can see, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He goes on social media and he says, "I played rubbish. I'm not playing well. I'm not enjoying it. I don't like it." And people slate him for it. He's just being honest.
Yeah.
I don't understand what people expect from a professional sportsman who's turning up every week and losing heavily to say, oh, I'm having a lovely time, I'm really enjoying this. What a privilege to turn up and get my backside spanked week in, week out. Lovely stuff. As I say, he'll do everything he can to leave himself double top, and he's left himself double top after 4 visits to the board, and pretty much taking Kirk Shepherd out of this game, because Kirk is averaging around about 80 at the minute. It is not going to worry Gerwyn Price at all. Premier League player looking like a Premier League player, even though he's no longer a Premier League player.
But maybe, you know, looking good leading from the front, but maybe there is a bit of coaching or a bit of psychology needed if he is somebody whose head drops when he does go behind and struggles to get back from a losing position.
Potentially, yeah, but I think, you know, it's that magical, ineffable thing of confidence in sport, isn't it? And you can't fake it. You can't pretend you're confident. You are or you're not. And confidence comes from winning and good performances. And they've not been as plentiful as they had been previously for Gerwyn Price. And he's been very, very close to going and winning one of these Eurotours. Not made a final before, but he's made quarters and semis, and at the time he's been looking sometimes the most likely out of the diminishing field to go on and claim the title, and then it's taken a big display from somebody like Peter Wright or MVG to knock him out.
123.
The winner of this one will play Mensur Suljovic, another Premier League debutant this year, or Jermaine Wattimena.
91.
Pressure on this one, 58 needed for Kirk Shepherd, and if it doesn't go, he's got all kinds of problems.
38.
It doesn't go.
Going to require 40.
So his favourite double top.
Game
4-1,
shown
no
on the
messing.
flag. Gerwyn Price.
Yes, Mensur Suljovic
Six leg
against Jermaine
going to
Wattimena.
throw
The
first.
penultimate game on this evening. And we round off the night with the world champion Rob Cross up against Dimitri Vandenberg, another of the standout second round ties here in Saarbrücken, that's for sure.
Yeah, Mensur Suljovic, of course, the other guy to join Gerwyn Price in being eliminated from the Premier League after the first 9 weeks of action, but in very different circumstances. With Mensur, his tournament average was pretty much 10 points higher than Gerwyn Price's. Gerwyn Price around the 90, Mensur almost at 100 over the course of the opening 9 weeks, and a little bit unfortunate, you've got to say, for Mensur Suljovic not to have come through that, but it's a tough school. And 2 people have to finish in the bottom 2, and it turns out one of them's a major champion, one of them's a major finalist, but such is the quality of the field, that happens.
84.
Peter Wright nearly got knocked out, and he nearly won the thing last year.
Yes, Peter Wright looking in good form, having reached 2 European Tour finals, even if he's been struggling in the Premier League. He's on tonight against the young German Max Hopp, and the crowd will be well up for that one by that stage of the evening. Well lubricated, you would have thought, and in even better voice than they are now.
81. Going to require
Not a happy man, that last start has cost Kirk Shepherd. It means that Gerwyn Price doesn't have to start in the 18s. 74 scored. There we go.
82.
Lovely
Just
stuff,
checking with
leaves in
Ross Bray
tops.
to leave that tops again.
75.
And to go to within 1 leg,
Going to
booking his
require
place
40.
in Sunday afternoon's round 3.
No score.
Well,
Kirk, you require
a
90.
rare blank on double top. And a chance then, a lifeline for Kirk Shepherd.
Should start in the 20s, or is he? No. Gambled. Pays off because he gets 2 darts at the double.
Game shot in the 6th leg. That's Shepherd.
Well,
7th leg.
that's the
Kirk
first
to
time
throw
that
first.
Kirk has managed to
Game on.
break the Gerwyn Price throw. He had to be gifted the opportunity with Gerwin missing 3 at his favourite double. But Price still in the driving seat in this one.
78.
Good time for Welsh darts at the minute. I know Gerwin has had his troubles in the Premier League, but as I say, if he is getting back into a bit of form, it's been a while since we've seen him win on the Euro Tour stage. He's gone out
96.
first game or second round at this stage as a seeded player in the opening 2 events of the year. But with him as the Welsh #1, Jamie Lewis, semi-finalist at the World Championship. Mark Webster made his first quarter-final in a year the weekend.
134.
Yes,
So I've got Johnny Clayton.
That, World Cup team for the World Cup in Frankfurt in June.
100.
Yeah, Johnny Clayton and Gerwin Price likely to be the pairing for that one as things stand, although Jamie Lewis and Johnny Clayton are pretty close together in the rankings. There's a little bit of time for that to be worked out. Johnny Clayton, finalist at Minehead, of course, for the Players' Championship Finals, won his first PDC title last year. Gerwin has a couple of ranking titles to his name.
79. Going to
2
require
treble 18s at tops.
148.
There's one of them. Can't find the other one.
77.
Bit of a loose dart there.
Yes. So 71 to mop up on his return.
100. Going to require 71.
Single 14. Oh, Gerwin, what are you doing, man?
31.
All over the place on the big numbers.
84.
Well,
Game
that
shot
double
on
18
the
is being
seventh
a
leg.
good friend to Kirk
That's
Shepherd
it.
this afternoon.
8 leg
And he's
going
now
to
just within
Trooper.
one of his opponent.
Now, this is the point where things have gone wrong over the last couple of legs for Gerwin Price. 3 darts missed at tops and then missing a big number, so he didn't get a chance at double top.
45.
He could have been home and hosed by now with a 6-1 win had he taken those chances, because it was before Kirk Shepherd had had darts for the leg. In the end, some good finishing has kept Kirk Shepherd in it, but his scoring has been nowhere near what Gerwin Price's has been. I mean, you just look at the number of 2 treble visits
59.
that Gerwin has had. He's had 4 140s and a couple of 180s compared to 1 140 from Kirk Shepherd. The scoring has just not been there to give Kirk Shepherd enough chances.
100.
Now, we mentioned when things start to go wrong for Gerwin Price, his confidence has been so low that he's found very difficult to turn things around. A strong leg here keeps him well in charge of this match, but if he has more mistakes,
140.
then game on, and you quite fancy Kirk Shepherd. But he has put himself in a position here, Gerwin Price, to close this out.
Yep, down to 64 after just
Going to
12
require
darts.
64.
Treble 8 will be the target. Single 16 for tops.
24.
And again, that double top that was
57.
so good for him at the start of this match. He will have another crack at it, though.
Oof.
125. Going to require 40. Game shot in the 8th leg. Gerwin Price, 9th leg.
Well, the question was asked by Kirk
Game
Shepherd. Sat on 32, but does not get a shot at it. And maybe that's the Shepherd comeback snuffed out. There's only the one break of throw that Shepherd needs, but with the way that he scored in this game compared to Gerwin, you fancy Price to get darts to break and just end the game there and then.
Yep, and a decent start to the 9th leg from Price with that 140.
on.
But back comes Shepherd with a 140 of his own.
It was a good display from Kirk Shepherd in round 1. It was against Simon Stevenson. Well, look, there you go. Look at those 130 plus. That's 2 treble visits.
49.
Gerwin Price has hit more than 3 times as many of those as Kirk Shepherd, as well as a couple of 180s. The first 9 average, 107.
61.
It's a golf. He's got the first 3 visits to the board is what? 75 points clear of Kirk Shepherd. It's almost a visit.
99.
And twice as many attempts at double because he's getting more chances. He has needed them. Not been
40.
stunning finishing from Gerwin Price. but it's been solid, mid-90s average. Kind of what Kirk Shepherd was throwing against Simon Stevenson in the first round. Had he played like that, he'd have been win with a much better chance. But he's got 2 visits from here to make it 5-4. And he only needs 2 darts.
Kirk Shepherd, 10th leg going.
So still very much in it, but Price with the throw here. At the start of the 10th leg. The next match on stage, an all-Dutch affair. Jelle Claassen, the number 13 seed, against Mike Kuyvenhoven, who came through the European qualifiers on Thursday night to book a place on the main stage. And that'll be coming up at around about 3 o'clock on stage. A reminder that Simon Whitlock's game against Daniel Larsson. Simon Whitlock not here due to illness, so Daniel Larsson gets a bye. And
97.
We'll have a bit of fun on the stage to fill the time while we keep on schedule here on PDC TV and the various bookmakers streaming us around the world before that game between Claassen and Kuyvenhoven gets underway.
Well, he is down to a finish, Kirk Shepherd. It's the biggest finish of the lot. Going Price, ton 40 here. It's perfect. Don't bust it, Gerwin.
1 round of 40.
3 match darts at double top unless Kirk Shepherd takes out the biggest finish in the game. He's barely hit many 2 treble visits. Oh,
well.
92. Going to require 40.
Double top. Still double top for Gerwin Price.
20.
Oh, he's under the wire. Well,
Kirky requires 78.
and this was to take us to a decider.
he becomes favourite in this match if this goes. Single 20 for double top. He's not moving.
38.
Because he could find a way through, but he couldn't find the double top. And Gerwin Price, huge let off for the Iceman. Is this the little bit of luck that he needs to help turn things around? Because he does get the game in the bag. A 6-4 win. Gerwin Price returning to the winner's circle on the European Tour. First time we've seen him win a game on a Euro Tour stage this year. Is the Iceman back? We saw hints, suggestions at the weekend on the Pro Tour in Barnsley, where he threw some monstrous averages, but he has found a way to win. Baby steps for the Welsh number 1 as he tries to rebuild his season after the horrendous Premier League campaign. The Iceman through to the next round. He'll face either the machine gun Jermaine Watamina or the gentle Mensur Suljovic. Here is the Welsh number 1.
Not satisfied in closing it up?
No, I scored pretty well early on, missed a couple of opportunities, put myself under pressure, but I haven't won a game in the European Tour on TV for a while, so I'm glad to get one up.
Yeah, what's the situation right now? I mean, the Premier League, brilliant experience, even though you didn't play your best?
Yeah, you know, turning up and playing with the big crowds, it was good for me. You know, it was an amazing experience, but the time away took it out of me, and I didn't realize how hard it was going to be, but you know, I probably beat myself up early on in the competition and probably give some of the games away. But you know, I'm happy to be back in form on the floor. I just need to start doing it on TV again and in the Europeans.
What is the hardest part playing Premier League?
It's just the traveling. You know, it takes out of you. Sometimes you're away 5, 6, 7 days a week, and it's hard work. You go into Premier League, then you go into the Pro Tours, and you're home for a day, and you're away again. It just takes it out of you and it drains you. But I was unused to that, and it caught me off guard. But you know, if ever I get into the Premier League again a few years down the line, then I'll know what to expect.
Okay, cool. Diese Mo then. Thank you. Gerwin Price. Der sagt es jetzt ein Weilchen her, dass ich ein Match auf einer Bühne gewonnen habe.